We are here again, ladies and gentlemen, with another episode of Candid Talk.
Candid.
I am the host with the absolute most, Shawn White, and this is my esteemed co-host,
Winta Harris.
And today, y'all, we are talking about imitate, but don't copy. I feel like it's so many people who call themselves artists, or they want to be artists, or they want to do whatever, but they can't really get that far ahead because they're too busy trying to copy someone else that they see, whether it be the certain viral Instagram stars or whatnot, and you know what I'm saying, who turned that into comedy, so they try and bread their videos exactly like them, or you got a certain favorite artist, so you try and sing. Perfect example, right? I had this guy in high school. He put Wayne as his idol. Like, he idolized Wayne to the 10th power, you know what I'm saying?
Phil.
And so I knew that, yeah.
Let's rap a lot.
Right. Well, you know what's crazy? How you just did that voice? So when he let me hear his record, right? He was like, yeah, bro, I want you to check out my song, whatnot that I got. I'm hearing Wayne does the whole lighter flick on his record.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying?
That?
No, he didn't do that. He had like a bootleg type match. Like, he stroked that shit. And I was like, all right. But then when he came onto the record, he tried to sound exactly like Wayne with the auto-tune. I was like, bro, that's Wayne, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that, you know? And I feel like certain people, the way that they pop off is by doing something new, something nothing's ever seen. Yeah, being innovative or whatnot. You can't I feel like you're going where you're going if you keep trying to imitate somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you, you being a businessman, you trying to mold whatever you're trying to create or whatnot, and you have created it, but moving forward, how do you try and stay unique in your own way and not try and compare to other people, bro?
Honestly, it's because, for one, I think outside of the box. Like, I'm a straight out of the box thinker. Like, some of my ideas, sometimes it may not work just because I'm so out of the box. But at the same time, I always look at what people are doing, and then I try to see what's not being done.
Okay.
And then I feel like that's any type of successful new anything. You know, you gotta look at or see what you could, pick out that maybe would draw attention, or what you believe would draw attention, and do that shit.
Sure.
And honestly, I feel like you never really know. Some people, like you said, the whole title is imitate, don't copy. Like, sometimes you can just start imitating certain things.
Right.
Like with videos, we started doing our podcast and shit, right? There's been billions of podcasts before this, but probably nobody's gonna do it the way we're doing.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So that's the same thing with business, right?
Yeah.
I can look at somebody's business model, I can model my business behind it, but I'm gonna do something that's gonna be uniquely me.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So that's the one thing I always say. Even if I take somebody's idea, because ideas, at the end of the day, if you do nothing with it, it's just an idea.
Sure.
So when you put a plan and action behind it, that's when it becomes an actual attainable goal, anyway. But once you put that out there, then you can move forward. So I feel like it's no longer, it's not imitating, or it's not copying, but you did start somewhere where it started out, like somebody gave you the footsteps or the path to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't follow, maybe he went right at a certain point and I went left. I'm not gonna keep going right because they kept going, you know what I'm saying? So their story is their story. I'm not gonna completely follow it.
Yeah.
That's not who I am, but I feel like you just always gotta find something that's uniquely you and whatever you're trying to imitate. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever just steal somebody's identity, pretty much. That's
But you know what's crazy? How you just ended with that? I was just gonna say, and shout out to my homeboy J Mike. He's a great screenwriter or whatnot. He gave me the quote that somebody said a long time ago. Good artists borrow.
Great ones steal.
Great artists steal. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot that goes on. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't get credit for certain things that they created a long time ago and somebody else did.
That's a fact.
It can be wild, you know what I mean? Sheesh. I try and be different in everything that I do, because it seems like certain, I can't think of the last good like black film that I just saw because it seemed like they be trying to do the same exact film the same exact way, like time after time again. The only thing they change is the actors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how many times you gonna have like black guy, black woman, one of them seems good, one of them seems terrible, like, and he just starts terrorizing a couple, like, that's happened so many times, and I'm like, what is y'all trying to, you know what I'm saying, do with this? Like, okay, so you're not necessarily stealing, but you still imitating, but it's just not good. Like, the thing is, if you is gonna try and steal, if you is gonna try and imitate, make sure it's at least good, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
well, that's key too right there.
Yeah.
If you gonna steal anything, that shit better not be bad.
Right, make sure it's on point.
You just, that's a bad thief. Don't be a bad thief.
I ain't gonna be a bad thief. Hell no.
But nah, man. Like creativity in general, I feel like there's no real original idea anymore. Right? There's just a lot of variations.
Yeah.
Of different ideas, you know, or a more successful version of a similar idea.
Right.
If that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
So as an artist, that's what I'm realizing, because I can't even tell you how many times I done heard maybe a song and I'll be like, yo, I had the same idea, or I said the same bar, or maybe it was like a movie that came out, I'll be like, yo, I was just thinking about doing some. Right. So it's like, to have a completely original idea, it's not the idea necessarily, I feel like it's the execution.
Sure.
So that's where you are able to be more unique. So in your execution, no matter if you started following somebody else, like imitating somebody else, the point where it turns into copy is where you literally do everything they do versus having your own unique execution, you know, or delivery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's, I think that's key right there. You gotta have that execution or delivery to differentiate yourself.
Yeah, I definitely.
You'll be overlooked.
Yeah, sure. I feel like you definitely, as an artist, you gotta find a way to reinvent yourself at all times to keep moving forward with the times. And unfortunately, so many artists haven't been able to because, like you said, some people took a little bit of their mold and they just found a leeway just to keep going or whatnot. So it's just like, how do you find that way to try and balance what you created while bringing something new to it? And
I feel like to even answer that, I feel like you got to be fearless. Yeah. Like, cause I feel like the main reason why people copy is because they want to feel like it's safe. They stick with what's safe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So instead of venturing out and trying something different, you literally just kind of stick your toe in the pool and then don't really go full for it. Yeah. And if you don't understand that analogy, I mean, if you ever stuck your toe in the water and be like, oh nah, it's too cold, and then you just don't get in, versus that person that just straight cannonball,
right, just jumps right in there.
Like, come on in, it's fine.
First, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of being scary, sure.
I feel like with creativity, you got to cannonball sometimes. Yeah. In order to like really figure out your flow or your uniqueness.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Even make that wave. You know, that kind of all goes with the cannon. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah, I feel like you can't just like stick your toe in it or just do what everybody, because let's say if I stuck my toe in the water and I'd be like, it's too cold, and everybody else be like, oh yeah, it's too cold. Right. The only person that was being unique is that cannonball person.
Right, who jumped straight in there, and it's different.
Yeah, because they wasn't following. It was like, it's too cold, let me see what it's about. And I'm gonna do it my way. He up in it. You know, so you definitely gotta invest more into your craft and dive in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's key to finding uniqueness. Like, cause if you don't know enough, you can't be unique.
Not at all.
You gotta dive or invest into your craft to the fullest. At least that's what I've did, and I'm literally separating myself every single time I put something new out. And I feel like that's more key. And I feel like the hardest part, well, at least when you're separating yourself at first, is the criticism. You know, because people don't like new things. True. You know, they judge it based off what's normal. What's common.
What's popping.
Yeah, what's popping. Right. So you gotta go past that point. Like, just keep diving. Like, I don't give a fuck what you feel. Like, this is how I feel, and this is how I want to express my art. Because art or creativity is all expression. Definitely. So never be like fearful to express yourself. And that's, you're gonna find your unique flavor, I'ma say. Right. Because like I said, there's really no true original ideas anymore. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
As an artist, I feel like it's great advice for you to just keep going, because when you have something or you feel like it is dope, people may not notice for a while. You see what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean you necessarily have to change things. I remember Lupe Fiasco, y'all know him as an MC or whatnot. He was talking about in an interview of how he tried to portray that whole like rap star, like gangster image, because that's what it seems like sell. That's certain people, whatnot.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't until he looked at it and he was like, maybe I need to stop imitating or whatnot and just be my own person and not try and steal another person's, you know what I'm saying, persona, and just be who I am. Cause I ain't about selling drugs. I'm just about like, maybe having a good time. I know about it. And he said that's when his fan base took off. So sometimes it's gonna be difficult for people to catch on to your wave because you are so different than, like you said, the norm or whatnot. But that doesn't mean you need to stop and try and do what everybody else doing, because the problem with that is eventually those type of people fade.
That's a fact. That's the one-hit wonders.
Yeah, that's a whole like fad. They may be in now and hot or whatever they got going on, but if they can't find a different way to reinvent themselves, they finna be looking at you because you're gonna pass and you're gonna keep going on for years upon years while they just still trying to do the same old. So, yeah, imitate, but don't copy.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
And I know it may be hard for anybody that's starting out. Like, if you're starting out, I think it's cool. Like, if you want to just see if you can be like somebody, like just to answer a question in your own head, if you have to.
Sure.
Because I think that's what some people are like, I want to know if I could do that same thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it could be anything. It could be even doing stand-up comedy. Like, one of my favorite comments was Patrice O'Neal, and he started because he was making fun of a nigga on stage that was doing comedy.
Right.
And the dude was like, what you think he could do better? And he was like, he got into comedy after that.
Right.
He did do better.
Sure, he did. A lot better.
So shit like that, like, I like type of shit like that, but he found his uniqueness because he was like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna imitate what I know as.
For sure.
And then I'm gonna find my own shit, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we're doing it and repetition, you're going to find some uniqueness. You're going to find your own flavor. Like it's literally his flavor, or swag, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Right.
But your style is going to have its mark. And if you don't have a mark, then maybe you need to look and like learn yourself a little bit better.
Right.
Find out who you are, and sometimes it takes that time. Like being alone, getting away from the elements. If you're a music artist, maybe stop listening to certain music. You know what I'm saying? So you can find your own voice. If you're an actor, maybe you gotta stop watching certain people that inspired you and try to find your own acting style, you know what I'm saying?
True.
You already have the skills, but now you gotta find your own voice, pretty much.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the biggest difference. So, shit.
And I feel like that's what we do with this show right here, man, this podcast, because we got a whole type of dynamic of how we discuss topics, because I notice a lot of shows or podcasts or whatnot, they just have not titles, but they have snippets of things that are like controversial just to have it catch on. Yeah. But they're not really talking about nothing in depth if you do decide to click on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you may catch their attention by saying something wild like, if you invite a woman out on a date, does that mean that you gonna pay for it or not? You know what I'm saying? So I happened to click on that this past week, and I'm listening, I'm like, why is y'all like, what are we getting at by this? Like, you ask a person out, that's cut and dry. Like, you gonna take care of it, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you don't, you would ask.
Right, so that's not, for real. So that's not what we do on the show, man. We actually discuss things in depth because we're trying to be original, whatnot. And people gonna catch on to the wave. You know what I'm saying? When they get ready to, because that's the unique thing with so many shows and stuff that I see. They don't always pop when they first start.
Not exactly.
It takes time.
It takes consistency.
When you're original, it takes consistency and keep going and keep grinding and whatnot until you get to exactly where you want to be. Then people catch on.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So before we close out, you got anything you want to add on to imitate but don't copy?
Man, I said a lot, but let me see if there's anything else. Not really, honestly. I think most of it was key. Like, literally just find your own voice or, your own lane. Like, and if you have to start by copying, and everybody kind of copies a little bit in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? That's the imitate part, but when you literally become somebody else, then you are a copy, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose yourself in trying to be something else that you're not, or someone that you're not, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't be anybody but yourself. You really can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for that.
Yeah, and I was just gonna add on by saying, man, don't be scared to be different. and be original. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got to find your own voice and just keep going. No longer, you know what I'm saying? If you are really passionate about it, no matter how long it takes, you got to keep going. You know what I mean? You can't get discouraged because people are doing things a certain way.
Facts.
You are unique. There's something about you that's different, and you just got to show that and keep bringing that and let people catch on when they catch on. But once again, y'all, this has been another episode of Candid Talk. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be coming back with another one before you can even blink. I am the host with the absolute most, Shawn White, and this is my co-host,
Winta Harris.
We hope y'all enjoy, man.
Wait. Before you do that, make sure you go hit that subscribe.
Please.
Hit that like. And comment below, man. I would like to hear what you think about that.
Sure.
Go ahead, my dude.
Like I say, hope y'all enjoyed it, man. We'll be catching y'all again soon. Take it easy. Peace.